Hey guys, it's Erin. Happily we go, and I am so super excited to be hanging out with you today. So before we jump into it, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have a serious addiction to buying old books. And most of the time I don't even know what to do with them. I just buy them. So look at, like, this one's in French. Aren't they just gorgeous? They'll make gorgeous art journals, but I'm not sure what to do with all the papers inside. So what we're going to work with today is this one here. This is an old Encyclopedia Britannica. Look at those pages. They're kind of browned and scrumptious, and they have lots of good pictures. So this is what I'm going to be working in today to make my journal. Oh, look at that patterning. Isn't that wonderful? So that'll definitely be on a journal page. But before we jump into this, I want to tell you a little bit about a journey that I'm going to be going on this summer with Lucy and Jolene over at the Live Art Journaling and Self-Development Group. So check this out.
What is gezellig? Well, it's a Dutch term that can't really be translated. Its meaning includes everything from cozy to friendly and from enjoyable to gregarious.
This summer, join Lucy and Jolene on a creative adventure as we discover what truly happens when you let go of all expectations. Fairy tales are the pathways into hidden corners of our every being.
And we don't mind how you say it. Gezellig, gezellig, gezellig. Doesn't matter because it's truly about a feeling. It's the feeling that you get when you join together with people and experience joy and a feeling of being part of something. This group and our summer school are about that feeling, a gathering of like-minded people in a warm, engaging, welcoming, creative space. Because we know gezellig will become one of your favourite words.
Doesn't that sound amazing? I am so super excited to embark on the journey, and Jolene and Lucy have graciously allowed me to give away one extra spot so you can art journal along with me online for this fabulous workshop. But now what I'm doing is I just took a metal ruler and a X-Acto blade, and I just cut out those pages so I'd have a nice fine line. Now I'm going to work with about 10 pages here. This one was in the mix, but I'm going to put it off to the side and use that another day. So let's get messy. Now, if you saw my last video, the art journaling one for the PB journal, I just took a whole bunch of paint, put it on a page, and smushed it together. Well, guess what? I loved that technique so much, we are bringing it back to work on this journal today. So I'm just going to take a couple colors. You can use 2, 3, however many colors you want, but I'm just going to try and keep it simple with 2 or 3 colors per page. And we're just going to smush, smush, smush away until we have all of our pages covered. Now you can totally cover your page with paint, or like this one I'm going to show you here, I'm not going to cover all of the page because I like to see some of that kind of browning paper showing through and with the text. But as you'll see, the text still shows up through the papers that are fully covered as well. Now that we have all 10 papers done and they are dry, oh, look at that pretty underpaper. We're going to switch it so it's not as busy for you. So we'll put that off to the side and use it later on. But we're going to take our dry pages and we're going to add some clear gesso onto the top of them. Now you're probably asking yourself, geez, Erin, why didn't you do this before you did the paper? But sometimes paper soaks up paint differently when it doesn't have gesso on it versus when it does. That's one of the experiments I've come to find. And I thought this, adding it on top of it, we're still going to allow the all of our layers to show through, but it's also going to strengthen our papers and give us a nice gritty good texture to work with once our journal is done. So we're going to go ahead and clear gesso over the top of all 10 papers and then let them dry. Once you got your pretty stack all dry, we're going to go ahead and fold them pretty side to pretty side, just in half, easy peasy, and do that to all 10 pages. Now, once you have all your pages together, grab a glue stick. Make sure you have the painted pages in the order that you would like them to be in. I've tried to keep my patterns separated, but we're going to take the first page. We're going to glue stick all over that back side there. Just get it everywhere, mostly the edges. Then take the next page, line it up with it, and just glue it on down. So we have our spines together. Make sure the pages are nicely glued, and then we're going to continue doing that through all of our 10 papers. Now that my whole book is glued together, I want to put those little strips. These are 1-inch strips and they're the same height as my book, but we're going to take the 1-inch strips, and this is just other pages from the book as well, so it kind of matches, and fold those in half. What I want to do is where those pages were glued together, each page, I want to glue a little bit more gluing, but I want to glue those over the edges so that way they don't pull apart later on and it's easier to turn the pages. So see, we're not going to put it on that last one, but the next one here, we have 2 pages together, and I'm going to grab my glue stick here. Let me get a little under, there we go. We'll do some deli paper, glue, and now take that half and then line up the book with the middle half line that you did. Give it a little bit of press. This gets sticky, guys. It's going to get a little messy. There's, you know, something fun about creating your own book and getting a little messy. Press it down. Whoops, and see, I took a little too long, but that's okay. Glue stick is our friend. Press it down, and there you go. Now you have this beautiful little edge to your pages. Now we're going to continue to do this to all of our pages. Now that they're all done, isn't that kind of pretty? It gives it a little extra something, and makes it a little sturdy. So now I have another scrap strip of our encyclopedia, and I'm just going to, you know, you can make it as wide as you want or as thin as you want, but you just want it to cover up the binding of our book. This is going to help kind of keep all of the pages together. So fold it over, but not tightly, because we want to flatten out that edge so all of our little folded bindings will touch that glued piece, and then we're just going to trim off the excess. This is so much fun. Look at it's all starting to come together. So now we need to have a little cover for our book. Now another thing I have in spades is scrapbook paper. I have so much scrapbook paper, it is ridiculous. And so I'm going to just take one of these pages, line it up, give it a line, give it a cut, and then we're going to glue that on down as well. One of the things I love about making your own journal is, one, you don't feel like you have to be as precious with the pages. So you're allowed to make mistakes, throw paint down, make ugly pages. It's okay. You didn't spend, $30 on an art journal. This is something that you made. It's easy to do. My children have done it. And this summer, we're doing art journaling as a family. And this is something super easy that they get to do. They get to make the painty pages and use lots of glue stick. And it's just super fun for people, anyone of all ages, really. So now I have that glued down, and you see I left that excess there, and that's okay because we're going to fold this over the edge. Remember, we didn't put the book pieces on our edges, but that's going to help hold that edge down to our front and back covers. And now I have a little bit longer on the top, and that's okay because, you know, it'll get painted over. I ripped a little extra piece off of, the scrapbook paper that was too long, and I'm going to use this as a closure. So I'm gluing it about halfway in my book, and now I'm going to cover it with some more of that extra book pages so it's a little prettier instead of being all white. Just kind of keep, you know, ripping and adding your collage bits there. And I'm going to rip off that excess, and then I'm going to cut around there as well to make it all nice and pretty. Now that we have the back complete, we're going to go ahead and glue the front. Now just add your glue stick all over the front, super duper easy. And then when you fold it over, don't make it too tight. Remember, we want to leave some space for that binding. I'm just going to push it with my finger and then flatten out the book so that way we are able to bend our book, so to speak, open and close. And then just glue that little excess onto the front. It's okay if it doesn't match the same thickness as the back because, hey, it's junk journaling, people. We're just going to roll with it. So I'm flattening out my edge on my table to give it a good little squared off look. And I'm going to fold over our closure here. I'm kind of wrapping it a little bit because I don't want it to be too tight because I know that I'm going to add collage bits and other stuff, and this is going to get to be a chunky little journal, so we want to leave that extra space. So there we have it. Look at that. Easy peasy. Now I just want to finish off this cover here, and I found a cute little, you know how sometimes scrapbook papers, they come with little like clip art pieces in the book as well. So this is just one of those, so that way the green kind of matches. I'm just distressing it with my scissors, and a little piece ripped off. That's okay. See, we're junky journal. I'm going to rip off another corner so it kind of matches. We'll glue that down. Just kind of center it on there. And then I want to add a little clasp to hold our book together. So I'm just going to take some dollar store rubber bands that I found. Super cheap, right guys? Like, this is the cheapest junk journal you've ever seen, because the book, I think the encyclopedia was like $2 at Goodwill. So super easy. Now I'm going to take this grommet here, and this is going to help reinforce that hole so it doesn't just rip apart. You could use, if you don't want to use the rubber band, you could use ribbon, you could use twine, whatever you like. But I'm going to take that rubber band, just pull it around there, and then that is what is going to close our book off. That is it. Super duper easy peasy. I hope you guys enjoyed making your journal today, and this is a journal you could totally take on the Gezellig journey with me if you are one of the lucky winners. So here is the information about the giveaway. I'll also leave the link for the Facebook group down in the description box below. But to enter, all you have to do is be a subscriber. So hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up for the video, and don't forget to leave me a comment down below so I know you entered. You can also get a second entrance over on Instagram. Follow me, I am at Happily We Go, and there'll be a link for that one there. The giveaway ends May 30th. May the force be with you. I look forward to creating at Gezellig. Until next time, happy creating.